Alright. I uploaded part 1, this is part 2 of whatever the hell I was talking about. What was I talking about? I was ranting about something. And I had to fix that thing because the internet, I don't try to go over 10 minutes on my YouTube stuff. Crap, I forgot what I was talking about. Yeah, monkeys. People are monkeys. Or, no, whatever. People do not learn stuff too easily because they're not willing to be like the newer monkeys that can do things to help improve life. The monkeys that died. Yep, that's basically it. Yeah, new subject. Oh yeah, long distance relationships suck. For those who don't believe me, well, it's not that you believe me. So you just have to listen to what I believe in because I'm ranting. Long distance relationships are one of the most complicated things that people put themselves into. I really think that if you follow those basic dating rules, then you can see it as a little bit more, plausible. Something that makes more sense. There's all sorts of random dating rules that people put up or know about, or some people share because it seems like a really good idea, or at the same time, it's a very good psychological idea that you should be doing so that you know some shit is not going to happen, or some weird stuff. I gotta stop swearing. I keep on swearing. Ugh. Alright. What was I trying to say? Yes, long distance relationships and dating rules. There's a lot of random dating rules that people put up, but it helps you think about what you want to do. Think about what you should be doing. Think about how things should be going with someone. Sometimes some people have sex rules, some people have these other rules, and blah, 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 blah. So many different rules that they have for themselves. You know what? As long as it makes them happy, and as long as it doesn't make them a jerk, that'll be okay. A relationship is, two people that help. I've said this quote so many times. When dating someone, you're trying to figure each other out. One of the biggest things about dating is that whenever you're trying to figure each other out, you kind of want to find out how screwed up they are, so if they're more or less screwed up than you, or as screwed up as you, or they have compatible screw-ups, because a lot of times you have a fear of that person that you're around being not the best for you, or just accepting and being the most compatible for you. And it's one of those ideas that people sometimes try to weigh in if they're worth it based on their screw-ups. Oh, but she's hot. You know what? That is the dumbest thing on the planet. Whatever. Point is, there's also different random rules that people have. But you know what? Let me get back to the one that I want to talk about. Wow, I can only remember one of the few that I wanted to talk about. There's like 4 or 5. Whatever. The main one that I want to talk about. Actually, no. I remember the other one. Okay, main one I want to talk about will be never make plans longer than how long you've been dating someone. So if you've only been dating someone for like a month or two, 2 months or whatever, don't make plans for half a year from now, because that's kind of weird. That's like really, really rushing some things. There's some people that you don't really know. A lot of people you can't figure out until you have seen those times of when they're more relaxed around you, when they do more things that they wouldn't do before, that they feel more comfortable with. There's just all these things that you really should know about a person beforehand. There's one of the things is that you there's a saying, you don't really know someone until you have lived with them for a few months, for about 3 months, because from there people start getting more relaxed and more peaceful, and then you start putting their guard down from what they used to not do around you, and start doing the things that, well, that that completely changes how you see a person, because now that they're more relaxed, or when you're more relaxed, you start doing stuff. It's like the whole thing of like, I really don't want to break wind in front of my girlfriend, or stuff like that. But until you really know someone, you really should not make too many plans. You don't know if they're a seasonal type of person where some seasons they hate, some holidays they love, sometimes they may be too overexcited over certain things. Who knows? Well, I don't know if you can be overexcited about, unless it's like a weird specific holiday. Who knows? Maybe you like Talk Like a Pirate Day and they don't, or they hate pirates or whatever. You know what? Point is, that you don't really know someone until you have lived multiple holidays with them, and you can actually see and their characteristics, how they speak, how they interact, how they are seasonally. It's all that seasonal stuff. And people will change. People will change around you, and that's what you really need to know about. You really need to see how a person is during so much time, because then you can see how they change during climates. Maybe they're great during the winter, but they're kind of, flaky. Not flaky. Well, I mean flaky, like they're erratic, or they're not that. You can't really trust them that much during summer, or maybe they are physically flaky. There's a cream for that. So back to flake. Oh my god, I'm stuck with the flakiness. So yeah, you have to really know a person for quite a while. You don't make plans for some things like, oh, you missed out this event last year. That was like last month. They do the event every year. You should, we should plan it out. It's like you've only been together for a few months, and you're making plans for almost 11 months later. You might be setting yourself up for something. But that's how life is, sort of. Yeah, there's a lot of people that you don't really know. You have to really get to know them. So this takes me to long-distance relationships. Long-distance relationships, depending on how long the person's away from each other, plus how long they've been together beforehand, will tell you a lot more about who they are. But no, it's that can you really feel honest and stay in a relationship? There's a lot of people who can do a long-distance relationship. Others have that urge of having that physical contact, that connection, to be able to do stuff with each other, to be able to do so much, because their passion for each other basically has to be right next to each other, while some people get extremely distant while being distant. Some things will work, some things won't work. It depends on both sides. Some people can survive a long-distance relationship. Some of them basically fail and give up. Let's see, people in the military that go off for, doing military stuff, and they leave someone behind, and that person, after a long while, let's give it quite a bit of time, can be still true to them and quite well, or they can go the opposite, where they're not the same, where you come back and they're not the same person, or the military person comes back and they're not the same person, or they come back and they have moved on. It's just so many things of what could happen. So relationships are weird, and that's why people sometimes make relationship rules. For me, if I moved somewhere, got a relationship for a few months, and then I was offered a job where I'd spend like 6 months in another side of the country, that would be really hard. Unless it's been the most amazing few months with that person. I mean, amazing. Then, no, it's only been a few months. I mean, it's going to be way too complicated, because sometimes you don't have enough emotional connection unless you have the most impossibly perfect connection to keep that way. Being away for so many months, it would be so hard on both sides if you can keep that connection of being with each other. I don't know. It's just baffling. Man, my ranting got up to almost. I gotta conclude this rant. I would like to meet someone and be with them long enough that whenever I take off weeks at a time, whether it be for work or I visit some place or family, or they go off and do something, however their life may be, I want to know that with that person, right when I know that I have to go, even if it's weeks in advance, that person will be by me, or be next to me, or around me, or at least I get to chat from time to time. So that whenever I get back, that person is still there. It's one of those, you really have to find a certain amount of love and caring for that person. And I'm talking about 6 months. I'm not talking about like a month and a half. A month and a half, some people can survive quite well. God, I'm almost up to 10 minutes. All right, I'm gonna make another rant.